And so welcome to Krista with Houndstooth Fiber Arts. Look at your beautiful display behind you.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yes.
I,
It's funny, I was just talking to Kira, I'm sure you saw it, but she was pointing out that you also have the overlay cowl in your display.
I do.
Right up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I worked on that for about a year from time to time at shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great project just to pick up and put down. It's got a really great rhythm to it, but
It is.
It's not hard to remember it.
Line, I think.
So anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted by your beautiful display. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as a vendor, a virtual vendor here at Lambtown. Again, this is Krista from Houndstooth Fiber Arts. Krista, I would love to hear about how you got started, because even though you and I know each other, have known each other for a few years now, I'm not sure that I know your origin story and kind of what inspires Houndstooth.
What really inspired Houndstooth was my friend Erin and I. We had a previous business, and we saw that there was a huge lack of close yarn shops in our area. Like, the next one away is 20 to 30 minutes over the hill or into town, and we wanted something more local for the Hayward-Castro Valley people. And so our initial idea was to actually open a yarn. That's a lot of work. We've got kids. So this is what we do. From now on, we do events. We bring the yarn to the people. It's a little bit modified from what our original game plan was, but it still works. I never had dyed yarn before we started the business. I just said, I can do that. So I got some yarn and I got some dye from over in San Rafael, and I just dove in. And this is what we are now.
Very successfully, if I might add. But you do have a creative background, correct? I mean, you did photography.
Yeah, I have a BFA in photo, which I would have changed that had I not been so many years into school when I found the fiber arts. I really gravitated towards learning to sew, taking things by hand, and weaving. So that was a really fun time in my life, learning to explore those avenues in art school.
Absolutely. And recently on your Instagram, you actually showed some of your photography work, and you could see the parallel between those images and some of the yarn you had dyed. It was really striking to see that parallel.
Thanks. Oh, well, when I finally started realizing that fiber arts was where I wanted to go with this in life, I really started trying to bring in more color and the way that it works together. But thank you.
Well, that was the first time that I had learned about the fact that you had your degree in photography, and so it was.
Yeah, I keep it kind of hush because I never actually followed that route.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It still informs who you are, and it informs who you are as a dyer. So I think that, while yes, you may not do photography, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have an effect on you and what you do creatively and how you pick colors and how you see things. I mean, all of that informs
it all comes together. I completely agree. Yeah.
And so I mean, that sort of leads me into both the question of how you pick your colors and the dyeing techniques that you use, but also your bases. Like, what's informing those decisions?
Well, what I really gravitate towards is quality. So I want to be able to bring the best quality to people, something that will have a long life. So probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I actually changed from using just regular acid dyes, and now I use the more professional, the wash fast. I want the color to stay as long as possible. I also noticed something going through my old photographs of my previous gradients and where my gradients are now. I noticed a change probably like a year and a half ago in how I'm dyeing. And I think it's quite fascinating. So I think things started softening up color-wise and just becoming more muted and speckled and just kind of fun, and letting the dye wants to go as opposed to telling it where it needs to go. So those were a couple of tea cakes that I have.
So, and are the two projects that are the garments, are those gradients, or did you create like fades with different yarns?
Oh, the two on the wall?
Yeah.
They're both. So
oh yeah.
I took a gradient, this one here,
Uh-huh.
and I paired it. And then I just did a color transition between them. And I did the same thing over there, and it just worked. If you but then also, I've got a new colorway coming out soon. So these are new. They'll be coming out for a special design, but these are a DK weight. I also have them in a fingering weight. So these are actually about, well, fingering weight will be almost 900 yards. And then here we have probably 230 each. So try and extend it. Have fun with colors so you can do more things, like make the pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's super interesting.
And these are both, is it Jessie May's patterns, correct? Or are they? Yeah, okay. So and people can find those via Ravelry, or I don't know if she's selling them elsewhere.
The bralette back there, and over there, right there, is the ripple crop top.
Awesome. Yeah, both of those are super cute.
Yeah, and I do suggest going up in a size.
Oh yeah?
They're a little snug now.
Well, that's the thing. It's so hard, you know, with those kind of base layer type garments. Sizing is really, and especially anything that is all over rib like that, it's a little hard to tell what the right size is, I think. It probably also depends on how you want it to fit. So it's good to know.
Yeah.
What do you like to knit?
I love knitting sweaters.
Yeah.
Color work.
That's the answer.
Nice, but now I do color work.
Yeah. Well, I know you. So, Krista, you purchased some of my yarn last year, right, at Stitches, and it was so cool. I mean, unfortunately, I haven't seen it in person because right. But it was. I was just amazed with the sweater that you made out of it. It was really gorgeous. So I'm so honored that you chose to work with some of my yarn.
I love it. Your yarn is so lovely.
I like have a mutual appreciation club here going on. I just wanted to let you know that Sarah, who we're talking to, you know, behind the dye project and Sea Change, just said Krista's yarn is so beautiful, and I'm super impressed by her gradient yarns. And Kathy said the photography experience showcases your fiber business beautifully. So, and Kara also gave you kudos on your yarn photography. So I just wanted to pass those kind comments on to you. It's always nice to hear some kind words. So where can people find you? How do we buy your gorgeous yarn?
Houndstooth.com. Pretty simple. Likewise, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, great. So, and then do you have a newsletter that you want people to sign up for, or is it social media? No, it's okay. Don't feel guilty. Trust me.
Thank you.
I'm not asking to make you feel guilty. It's just in case you do have one, I want to let people know. So social media, they can find out new and exciting things from you there. And then also, obviously, checking out what you have online on the website. And
Instagram is where I like to release the latest things that I'm working on. And sometimes, if you're on Facebook, I'll release like super sneak peeks because I think I have more followers. I know I have more followers on Instagram. So Facebook is for like those who don't get to see all those Instagram things, maybe. Like my mom.
Yeah. Yelly was just mentioned that she's knitting a dusk fog cowl with your yarn right now, and that it's so lovely to work with. So I hope that Yelly will join the Sun and Fog meetup later so we can see that, because that's part of that collection, and you were one of the featured dyers for that collection as well. So oh good, I'm glad Yelly's going to be there.
Start my own.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
That's exciting. Have you already picked out what colors you're going to work with, or are you going to make it into ones that you dyed for the project?
I have two options. I'm way as it's supposed to do, but then I picked up one of my own yarns from Chase from the Black Squirrel. It's her special shop color, which I just love. Not to send people to other businesses, but I still love it, and I love Chase. So this is her special shop colorway called Invincible. Yeah, so I might do mine in that. I haven't decided. But I do have a little some now for the Glistening Diamonds shawl, which is by Yvonne Poon. And unfortunately, I did forget it over at my knitting because I'm still working on mine. Almost done. But
but you can show us tonight, right?
What's that?
You can show us tonight, right? Because Yvonne's one of the designers. So
yeah, that's great.
Which base was that you used for that project?
For that, I used two things. Here. So mine is in this colorway, which was a special stitches color. It's just crazy. It's called Sit Together. Very bright and lovely. So I coordinated all my beads along the colors, and then I ended it with a skein of purple from Cumry.
Ooh,
so they go really well together. So I actually have a kit for this. That'll be on the website.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And do you have any special events or anything that we need to know about that are coming up, or?
I will be participating in the next Sun and Fog collection.
Ooh,
and then I believe there's talk of a collaboration going on with a local shop, as well as a mini trunk show out in Pacifica coming up soon.
Great. And do you have those listed on your website as well so people can go and find
They will be, but
great.
they're not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Just as long as people know where to find you going forward. Lizette was saying that she loves how we as vendors support each other, businesses, by shopping with each other. And we do. I mean, as Kira mentioned in the last segment, it's really wonderful how we have such a supportive group of designers and dyers and makers and shop owners here in the Bay Area that are so supportive of each other. And it's really wonderful to see that growing and blossoming.
And I really have to say, the last 1.5 to 2 years, it has really become a lot more organized and inclusive and broader to include a lot of different people. And I think that's wonderful and amazing, and it helps raise everyone up. We all need that. Yeah,
I agree. Let's see here. Friend Jessica said that she knit a beaded pava from your solar flare tea cake that she bought at Lambtown. So that's exciting. That sounds gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
that's that. So that's one of the things.
So these are new.
Oh yeah, I really wanted to see more about. So tell them more about this yarn, because I saw this on Instagram and I was curious about it.
So it is. I would call it more of a. This is a Peruvian Highland wool, which just means it's a mixture of Corriedale with merino. So the microns are a little bit it's 25 microns. It's not super drench soft, but you know what? Whatever you make from this is going to last forever. Yeah. So it's a good hardy yarn. I think it's beautiful, and I love how it barber poles. So that's built in. It's neat.
And just to explain to people, when you knit that up, there are going to be sections where there's no barber pole, and it was white. You've now obviously overdyed it, and then there's going to be, and it's going to alternate with sections that are barber poling with the white, and then the super dark, what we call black wool.
The black, yeah, definitely. And they kind of chase each other depending on what you're doing. I have another version, which is, I want to say worsted weight. It's Seville. And that one is great for hats. And you could definitely, in a hat, you can see it chase itself up the hat. It's kind of cool. So I've paired these for the Glistening Diamond shawl, which I know, shawl, it's a little bit more of a rustic feel of a yarn, But if you put it on the end of the shawl, I think it would go perfect. But the other part of the shawl, I have it paired with Walkabout. Walkabout is 100% fine merino. So this is the part that would go around your neck, and it's super soft and luscious, and one of my favorites to make sweaters from. But together, they're amazing.
That's really fun, because you get that nice contrast between both the texture and also the way that because of the one that, you know, the Highland wool that has the barber pulling in it, you know, obviously is going to show the colors differently.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's really a fun combination. I'm so excited about it too.
Thank you.
Did you have anything else? We have one more minute. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
I have a couple things.
Yay. Okay, good.
So I brought back Yonder, which is a merino cashmere nylon, and it's lovely, and it's bright, and it takes color, lovely, just amazing. Yeah. I love this color. I haven't named all of them yet. And then I have some Cloudview. So Cloudview is an alpaca cotton with merino.
Oh, wow.
Different, but it's luscious, and it's amazing, and it's not a small skein. It's a full skein. You get a nice ample amount of yardage.
Wow.
So, yeah, I love it.
That's gorgeous.
I don't know what's going on, but these are just so fun lately. I love this color. It's bright and amazing. And just like, oh.
You know, I was looking just this morning, I was cleaning out my inbox before I started working on Lambtown stuff, and they were talking about color forecasts coming up. So the Bears released theirs and Pantone. And so one of the things that they were talking about were sort of these calming neutrals with bright pops.
Yes.
And so that would be like the perfect color for that bright pop with, and that interestingly, that's actually kind of similar to some of the aesthetics in your gradients, where you have these sort of calm, they're not quite neutrals, but they're just these sort of calm colors. And then you come in there with like these bright, either peaches or aquas, pinks. Mm-hmm. And so I think that really, it's very on trend, Krista. I'm not sure if you knew that, but there you go. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been really fun to talk to you, and I miss seeing you in person. So I really appreciate you joining us today. And and hopefully we will see each other again soon. So
I'll be here tonight.
That's true for the Sun and Fog. So so I'll see you tonight. That is true for the Sun and Fog meetup. We will do that. Thank you again.